You're watching the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome, high school baseball fans, to FSPN's coverage of South Florida high school baseball. We have a good one for you today. The Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars have traveled south to Hialeah Gardens to face off against the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. The Jaguars are led by their head coach, Carlos Iglesias. And the head coach of the MATER Academy Lions is Humberto Bencomo. Should have a good one for you today. I'm Uncle Muggs. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play on today's broadcast. So pull up a chair, come hang out with us for the next couple hours. We should have a good one, and I'll try to make it as enjoyable as possible. I want to thank our sponsors, Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. I'll tell you a little bit more in detail about Florida State Tentless Termite later on in the broadcast. But for right now, let's get ready for some baseball. We'll be right back right after these messages with the starting lineups and the defense. Welcome, high school baseball fans, to Westland Park in beautiful Hialeah Gardens for some high school baseball between the visiting Jaguars of Pembroke Pines Charter that are here to take on the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. The Jaguars are led by their head coach, Carlos Iglesias, and the home team, the Lions, are led by Humberto Bencomo. We should have a good one here today. The Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars come into Westland Gardens Park with a record of 6-5-1, and they belong to District 15 of Class 5A. The MATER Academy Lions are coming in with a record of 7-6, but they're 7-1 at home, and they're winners of 6 of the last 7. Starting the season 1-5, they seem to have turned things around, and they're looking to keep it going here behind their left-handed pitcher that's on the mound today, Anthony Rodriguez. For the Jaguars, we're going to have senior Sebastian Gonzalez. Let's go through the starting lineup for the visiting Jaguars. The leadoff batter playing center field is Brady Monguera. Then is the senior Samuel Murillo behind the plate. He'll be followed by Justin Probst, the senior first baseman. Then it's Christian Morales playing second base and batting fourth. Following him, it's Dallas Searcy, the third baseman, and he's a junior. And he'll be followed by Gianfranco Mejia playing shortstop. The seventh batter is Dean Jaworski. He's playing left field, and he's a junior. Trey Glazer's in right field and batting eighth, and he's a sophomore. And Martin Pereira is a senior designated hitter. And while we have a moment, let's go over the home team's defense. The battery will be the left-handed pitcher, senior Anthony Rodriguez. Andy Castillo's behind the plate today. Alfred Rosario gets the start today at third base. Next to him playing shortstop is Yodelquis Quevedo. The second baseman is the senior Iker Noguera. And at first base, it's the junior Brian Fernandez. Your outfield from right to left, it's Jonathan Esponda, the junior in right field. Heury La Rosa, the senior, gets the start today in center field. And in left field, it's the sophomore Willie Maderos to round out the lineup for your MATER Academy Lions. And we're about to get underway. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Pull up a chair. It's a beautiful evening for baseball in Hialeah. It's a little bit breezy, I want to call it. If you're a golfer, it's probably like a one-club wind, and it's blowing across the field like it usually does here at Westland Gardens Park, from first base over into like left field. Today's broadcast is brought to us by Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on in the show. But let's welcome Brady Monguera, the leadoff batter for the Jaguars, and we'll bring up the scoreboard and get things going here from Hialeah Gardens. The first pitch from Anthony is way outside for ball one. Samuel Murillo is on deck, and he's the catcher, and he'll face this crafty lefty. Throws a little bit hard if he can get it over the plate, and there he goes. Well, I thought that was a strike, so it's ball four. And there'll be a runner on first base for the visiting Jaguars for the catcher, Samuel Murillo. That one's inside, so that's 5 consecutive balls by Rodriguez right here at Westland Gardens Park. And then they have Varela here on Wednesday. And Friday they'll play Brito in that Varela game and the Brito game could be seen right here on FSPN. Rodriguez gets one over for a strike. The count goes to 3-1. There's a look at Monguera, who walked, no score, top of the first inning. The second batter's in the box for the visiting Panthers of Pembroke Pines Charter. They're facing Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony walks the first two consecutive, and it's going to bring up the third batter, the dangerous Justin Probst. No balls and one strike, lefty on lefty. There's an off-speed pitch just missed inside to even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the first baseman, Justin Probst. Anthony Rodriguez takes a peek at Monguera, who's on second base. Morillo's pinch runners on first, and boy, that didn't miss by much. Count goes even to 2-2. And there's a ground ball hit right back to the mound. He's going to have one play, and that's the first, where Brian Fernandez gets the first out of the inning. Runners are going to advance to third and to second base. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Christian Morales. Dallas Searcy, the third baseman, is on deck. And they're going to face Anthony Rodriguez, the big lefty from the MATER Academy Lions. Rodriguez starts him over with a strike, and let's hope he's settled in now. And there's strike 3 called. A big strikeout for the lefty, the second out of the inning. And it's going to bring up the third baseman, Dallas Searcy. Jaguars send up Dallas Searcy. He's the third baseman. He has runners on second and third base and 2 outs against the lefty Anthony Rodriguez, and he's first pitch swinging. Swung right through that fastball. At least one. And that one's swinging a miss, and a huge strikeout for the lefty. After half inning of play, the Panthers leave 1. They leave 2. They get none. And we head to the bottom of the first to watch the MATER Academy Lions come up to bat for the first time. You're watching FSPN. High school baseball fans, you're watching FSPN's coverage of South Florida high school baseball from Westland Park, where we have the visiting Jaguars of Pembroke Pines Charter. They're led by their head coach, Carlos Iglesias, and they're facing the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, that are led by their head coach, Humberto Bencomo. We should have a good one for you today. I'm Uncle Muggs. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play. The 7-5 MATER Academy Lions are taking on the 6-5-1 Panthers, and the Panthers have Sebastian Gonzalez on the mound. And let's go over the starting lineup while we have a chance here for the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. They'll be the leadoff batter for the MATER Academy Lions is the second baseman, the senior Iker Noguera. He'll be followed by the right fielder, the junior Jonathan Esponda. Then it's Yodelquis Quevedo playing shortstop today. The fourth batter is Brian Arrieta, and he's the DH tonight. The fifth batter is Alfred Rosario, and he's playing third base, and he'll be followed by Helry La Rosa, who has the start today in center field. Then it's Andy Castillo catching, and it's Willie Medeiros. The home team, the MATER Academy Lions, leading off, it's Iker. He's in the box right now. He's the second baseman, the senior. He's facing Rodriguez, and he takes that one for a ball. Medeiros. There's a curveball swung on, and it's hit in the ground. They're going to call it a foul ball. And we'll go over the defense. Sebastian Gonzalez is on the mound. The battery mate is Samuel Morillo. He's behind the plate. The third baseman is Dallas Searcy. Gianfranco Mejia is playing shortstop for the Panthers. Christian Morales, the sophomore, is at second base. Justin Probst, the senior lefty, is at first base. In right field, it's a sophomore, Trey Glazer. The center fielder is Brady Monguera. And Dean Jaworski is the junior playing left field. And with one out, Jonathan Esponda steps into the plate for the home team, and he's been red hot lately. He's picked up his average to .324. Esponda swings at the first pitch and hits it in the gap in the right center field. Neither Glazer or Monguera are going to get it. Monguera dives, a great attempt. And the red hot Jonathan Esponda is going to cruise into second base with a double for the home team. 85 with a runner on second base and one out. Bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game from Westland Gardens Park. Uncle Muggs bringing you high school baseball. First pitch swinging. Boy, he took a big hack at that one. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. He's got one play, and that's to go to first base. There's going to be two outs for the red-hot Brian Arrieta with a runner on second base. Brian Arrieta had a 3-run home run at FIU Stadium to beat the Cohia Bulldogs. Well, to help beat the Cohia Bulldogs. Swings at the first pitch. And, boy, he hit one deep. It was into the wind. And he got all of it, and that kind of got everything going. I think that gave them the lead. They gave it up again in the seventh, but you got to watch the game. It's on our library, on archives. It's in our library. Just misses the outside corner. Brian Arrieta. There's a nice off-speed pitch, and that's taken for strike three. So the Lions are going to leave one. They get none. And after one complete inning of play, scoreless game here from Westland Gardens Park, and we're heading to the top of the second inning. You're watching FSPN.
You're watching Miami-Dade and Broward County High School Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram for a list of upcoming events. And every Sunday, it's Inside the Park, the weekly recap show with your hosts, Chappie Castillo and Uncle Muggs.
Welcome back to Westland Gardens Park, everyone. For the top of the second inning, you're watching FSPN. Uncle Muggs bringing you some high school baseball. MATER against the Jaguars from Pembroke Pines Charter. And in the box right now is the shortstop, Gianfranco Mejia. And he's facing the big lefty, Anthony Rodriguez. A scoreless game. Beautiful afternoon. The breeze has died down a little bit. There's barely any to speak of, but it's a beautiful day. A few puffy clouds flying around. Pull up a chair, get comfortable. Thanks for joining us. The Panthers are going to send up 6, 7, and 8 in the likes of Mejia, who's in the box right now. He'll be followed by the left fielder, Dean Jaworski. Then it's the sophomore, Trey Glazer, the right fielder. And if anybody gets on, it's the DH, Martin Pereira. Right now, the lefty's trying to settle into this game. Throws one over for a strike. And another good game last night, 6-3, Southwest Eagles against the High Tides. And there's one slap to the right side and a base hit. Nice piece of hitting. Found the hole between the first baseman and the second baseman. And that's going to bring up Dean Jaworski with a runner on base. Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars is the left-handed hitting left fielder, Dean Jaworski. There goes the runner. There's a look at the runner, and the sun is starting to set. The right side of the field, they're all shading their eyes. In right field, there's Esponda. Brian Fernandez is on first base. Noguera is on second base, and they're all covering their faces as the shadows start to creep across the infield. Rodriguez, and there's a weak hit ground ball to Noguera. Charges in on it. He's got one play, and that's the first base for the first out of the inning, but the runner's going to advance. Mejia's going to be on second base now. Trey Glazer to face Anthony Rodriguez. The lefty winds and deals, and nice stop by Castillo. Saved the runner from advancing, and he's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. And so is Tito. And we've got Tito, we've got him down pat. When Tito comes out quick, that means he's just going to talk to him. When he puts his hand on the pitcher's shoulder, and he's going to have a chat with him. We'll be right back right after. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to a mid-season game between the visiting Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. It's a scoreless game. We're in the top of the second inning. Your pitcher's Anthony Rodriguez. The runner on second base is Gianfranco Mejia. He had a base hit to lead off this inning. Dean Jaworski grounded out, and your batter now is Trey Glazer, and he's facing the big lefty, Anthony Rodriguez. And there's a swing and a miss, and I think Rodriguez has finally settled into this game, maybe. We hope so. One out, top of the second, scoreless game from Westland Gardens Park. The lefty Rodriguez didn't miss by much there. But now the count's 2-2 to the sophomore right fielder, and there goes the runner, and there goes the batter, and the ball almost hits him, and it gets away from Quevedo, and one run is going to score. That's going to be a base hit, and he's going to make it to second. So Glazer with an RBI. I don't know if my heart can take any more of these games. Anthony Rodriguez, the big lefty's on the mound, facing Pereira, the right-handed hitter. Trey Glazer's on second base. Another nice stop behind the plate by Andy Castillo. In the second run for his Jaguars with a base hit here. But with 2 strikes, Anthony's looking for a strikeout or a pop fly to the infield. Ball 4. Rodriguez, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 hits. And now he's facing the leadoff batter again for the second time, and Brady Monguera, the left-handed batter, the center fielder. Swings right through that off-speed pitch for strike 1. The lefty checks the runners. And there's a slider that's called a strike. And there's a ground ball hit up the middle. Wow, great attempt there by Noguera. Leaves his feet. Second run is going to score. It's going to be a base hit because that ball was well hit up the middle, but an excellent attempt by Noguera. The score is going to be 2-0 in favor of the visiting Jaguars. And here comes Tito with the slow walk, and this is going to mean a change of pitchers, and we're going to be right back. We want to thank our sponsors, Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. This is Uncle Muggs. Remember to watch Inside the Park on Sunday. It's going to be really funny. It's a St. Patrick's Day edition. And the new pitcher is going to be Gerald Barcelo. We're going to be right back right after this. Welcome back to Westland Gardens Park. High school baseball fans, Uncle Muggs bringing you a game between the visiting Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. And we have a new pitcher. His name is Gerald Barcelo. He's a big right-hander. Good fastball, good slider. He's going to face the second, third, and fourth batters with 1 out in the top of the second inning in a 2-0 game in favor of the visitors. Anthony Rodriguez, the lefty for MATER, again, was not very effective. A lot of walks, a couple base hits. And now we're going to take a look at Gerald Barcelo facing Samuel Morillo. Samuel is a right-handed hitter, and he's going to have runners in the corners with 1 out from Westland Gardens Park. Let's see if Gerald can limit the damage here, maybe roll a double play. Probst is on deck. Pereira's on first. Brady Monguera is on third base. Great stop by Castillo. Excellent play back there by Andy. Throw to first base. A little low and hard. Jaguars already up 2-0, and they got a chance here to get another run. And there goes the runner, a swing and a miss. And that ball goes through everybody. Well, it almost hit Barcelo, gets under Noguera's glove, got by Yodelkis. The Jaguars are going to score the third run of the inning. And that's going to bring up Justin Probst with 2 outs and a runner on second. Your way down here to Westland Park. And a slider taken low for a ball by the big lefty, Justin Probst. Here's 3-0, and that ball, wow, what a play by Andy. Now the throw to third is going to get him. And he gets chopped down at first. So the Panthers are going to leave none. They get 3, and we're going to head to the bottom of the second inning, 3-0 in favor of the visiting team, the Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars, and you're watching FSPN. Welcome back, everyone, to FSPN's coverage of high school baseball. And we have a good one here, 3-0 game heading to the bottom of the second inning between the visiting Jaguars of Pembroke Pines Charter and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. And I want to thank our sponsor, Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. And if termites are creeping into your home, don't wait for the damage to start. Protect your home with Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. Forget about the hassle of tenting or evacuating your home. The tentless treatment means no disruption of your life. No need to leave your home, no mess, just fast and effective protection. Florida State Tentless Solutions is eco-friendly, pet-friendly, safe for your family, and targets termites right where they live, deep inside of your home. Call 305-669-9292 or visit their website at www.woodtermite.com. And we are in the bottom of the second inning in a 3-0 game. Alfred Rosario steps in. He swings at the first pitch in a 3-0 game. One is taken up high. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Sebastian Gonzalez for these Panthers of Pembroke Pines Charter, who've traveled south into Dade County to face the MATER Academy Lions. The lights are on. It's a beautiful evening. The breeze is gently blowing from right to left across the infield from first base over to left field. 3-2 the count to Alfred Rosario in a 3-0 ball game. Third baseman takes that one, and he'll be walked. The leadoff batter gets on here in the bottom of the second for the home Lions, and it'll bring up the big lefty, Ryan Fernandez. The pitcher of the month. He's being held on by Justin Probst. Strike 3 looking to Fernandez. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Inning in a third, and he's facing Heudy La Rosa. He's the Miami-Dade commit, the senior center fielder for these MATER Academy Lions, and he has Rosario on first base. And there's a balk, and he'll have a runner in scoring position. And Heudy's been hitting a little better now. He's up to .315, his batting average. 1-1, and it's called a strike over the outside corner. And we're only 12 games into the season. And there's a ground ball softly hit to Dallas over at third base. He picks it up and fires way high to Justin. Not even the tallest guy on the field can get that one. Hildy's going to cruise into second. 3-1 ball game in the bottom of the second inning from Westland Park. The Lions send up the catcher, Andy Castillo. He'll be followed by Willie Medeiros. First pitch from Gonzalez is tight and high. Mario walked to lead off the inning. Fernandez struck out. An error by the third baseman. brought in a run and put Hootie on second base, and that one's lifted weakly to the pitcher's mound. But here comes Probst all the way across from first base to make the catch right at the mound for the second out of the inning, and it'll bring up the left fielder, Willie Medeiros. 2 outs, and they're looking to scratch away at the 3-1 lead. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-1 in favor of the visitors. Medeiros calls time, and it's given to him. Well, the Lions could sure use a base hit here. There goes Medeiros, and there's the throw from Murillo, and it's into left field. They're going to send to Rosa. It's going to be a good, close play at home plate. And you're going to have a 3-2 game because Jaworski's throw was way off the line. Well, they got away with one there. They got lucky. Being St. Patrick's Day in a couple days. 3-2 now in the bottom of the second. Willie Medeiros is still the batter. Amador, the catcher, has been hurt. You know about Brandon Lorenzo. Swing and a miss by Medeiros. The MATER Academy Lions are going to leave none. They get 2. We're going to head to the top of the third inning with your score 3-2 from Westland Gardens Park. And you're watching FSPN. Don't change that dial. Welcome back to Westland Gardens Park for some high school baseball brought to you by FSPN. I'm Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play, and a good one here between the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, and the visiting Jaguars from Pembroke Pines. The Jaguars are going to send up 3, 4, and 5 in the likes of Justin Probst, Christian Morales, and Dallas Searcy to face Gerald Barcelo, who starts them off with a strike here in the top of the third. Couldn't ask for a better evening. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You're watching a good one, and MATER Academy games have been, all of them, real good, and there's no stranger to the bases is Justin Probst, and he gets on with a solid line drive right over the second baseman. Christian Morales, the fourth batter for these Jaguars, just a sophomore, steps into the box with Justin Probst on first base to face Gerald Barcelo in the top of the third inning in a 3-2 game. Barcelo's first pitch is a strike. It looks like he's settled in now, starting to be more consistent with his pitches. There's a look at Probst on first base. Well, he's got a little Aaron Judge in him, and he can hit. Nice slider in there for a strike. Boy, that just froze Morales. Top of the third inning, 3-2. Justin Probst started this inning off with a base hit, and he's on first base. Your batter is Morales, Christian Morales, and he's facing the righty Gerald Barcelo, who wanted a strikeout there. That slider was low and away. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the fourth batter for the Jaguars, and he'll be followed by Dallas Searcy. And then it's the shortstop, the senior, Gianfranco Mejia. Here's a look at Probst. Strike 3, and it gets away from Andy. Boy, got a piece of him, and it's going to roll all the way to the fence. It's going to be a strikeout, but Probst is going to make his way to second base. Westland Gardens Park. The visiting Jaguars are up by a run, and they're threatening again. Justin Probst is on second base. Your batter's Dallas Searcy. He's the third baseman. He struck out his last time up against the lefty, Anthony Rodriguez, who was the starter. I'll tell you what, if Castillo can throw one back to the pitcher, we might win a game. Dallas Searcy's the batter with 2 strikes. Swings and a miss, and a huge strikeout there for Gerald Barcelo and the Lions. With 2 outs in the top of the third inning in a 3-2 game, the visiting Panthers are going to send up Gianfranco Mejia, the senior shortstop. He had a base hit and scored a run in his previous at-bat, and he's facing Gerald Barcelo, who starts him off with a ball outside on a sweeping slider. We're going to have a good one for you tomorrow, folks. Briggy's Florida Christian Patriots are going to face Moe's Spartans down south on the Saturday night game. You can watch it here on FSPN. We have a 3-2 game here. Foul ball by the shortstop Mejia. Here's the 1-1 pitch and a ground ball to Quevedo at shortstop. He comes up with it cleanly, fires across. And just in time to get the speedy Mejia for the third out. The Panthers are going to leave one. They get none. We're going to head to the bottom of the third inning from Westland Gardens Park, and your score is 3-2 in favor of the Jaguars, and you're watching FSPN.
You're watching Miami-Dade and Broward County High School Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram for a list of upcoming events. And every Sunday, it's Inside the Park, the weekly recap show with your hosts, Chappie Castillo and Uncle Muggs.
Welcome back, everyone, to Westland Gardens Park in Hialeah Gardens for some high school baseball and FSPN between the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, that find themselves down by a run in the bottom of the third inning to the visiting Jaguars of Pembroke Pines Charter. The Charter Jaguars have Sebastian Gonzalez on the mound, the right-hander. And up to the bat now is first, second, and third batters for these Lions. It's Aker Noguera, Jonathan Espanda, and Yodeki Quevedo. And if anybody gets on, it's a red-hot Arrieta. Noguera squares the bunt. He takes the first one for a ball. Noguera grounds one to the left side, and it's booted. Tried to backhand it. That was Mejia who tried to backhand that one, and the leadoff batter gets on for the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, and it's going to bring up Jonathan Espanda. And I'm going to put the red-hot Jonathan Espanda. I'm going to put red-hot in front of his name because that's what he is. He came into this game hitting .324. He had a double his first time up, and we need another one right here. That'll score Noguera with his speed for sure. Miami-Dade commit already has a double to his name. Eicher led things off here in the bottom of the third with a base hit, and he's standing on first base, and let's see if he goes. Espanda takes a slider that catches the outside corner for a strike. There goes Noguera, a slider. The throw is nowhere near in time. Murillo from his knees short hops it, and now the Lions have a runner in scoring position with some very good speed. 1-1 the count in a one-run game in favor of the visiting Panthers. Gonzalez from the stretch. And that one swung on and a base hit. He still stays hot. This time they're going to hold Noguera. Jaworski throws it in. Espanda with another base hit. And the Lions got something going here with nobody out. Runners in the corner for the big dog, Yodeki Quevedo. And Yodelkis has a chance here with nobody out, runners in the corners in the bottom of the third inning in a 3-2 game with a base hit. He can tie it. A sac fly, he can tie it. A pass ball, he can tie it. And a great play there by Sam Murillo. There's a look at the batter. And that one's drilled into center field. It's going to be caught in the air. There's going to be a play at the plate. And it's not going to be in time. Noguera is going to score. Espanda is going to stay on first base. And we have a tie game. The MATER Academy Lions have managed to scratch their way back into this game. We got a brand new ball game, folks. And guess who's up? The red-hot Brian Arrieta, the Irishman. Arrieta steps in from the left side. He's the DH today. And we saw him on Monday just drop a 3-run bomb on the Cohia Bulldogs at FIU Stadium. Wouldn't mind seeing one here. Nice cut. Foul ball at the plate. Look at Arrieta and the rest of the MATER Academy Lions. Spanda's on first base. The pitch from Gonzalez is inside and taken for a strike, and Arrieta can't believe it. I can't believe it. That was way inside. Scored all their runs in the top of the third inning. And here's Arrieta, swings and hits that one up the middle. Mejia's going to get it, step on the back for one, and he's going to go over pros for the second out. So the Lions are going to leave none, but they're going to get two. They're going to tie this game, and we're going to head to the top of the fourth inning. And you're watching FSPN, everyone. Thanks for watching. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to Westland Gardens Park, where we have a tie game between the visiting Jaguars of Pembroke Pines Charter and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. The Charter Jaguars are going to send up to bat their 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters in Dean Jaworski, Trey Glazer and Martin Pereira, and they're going to face Gerald Barcelo. Barcelo came in for Anthony Rodriguez, and he struck out 2. He's allowed 2. And we have a 3-3 game in the top of the 4th inning, and it seems like all these games for the MATER Lions have been nail-biters. Second pitch swinging is a ground ball to Noguera. He moves one step to his left, and he throws over to Fernandez for the first out of the inning. Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play from Westland Park. Barcelo's first pitch is low to Glazer for a ball. The 1-2 is called strike 3, and a big strikeout. It looks like Barcelo's settled in now. There's 2 outs now for the last batter, the DH Martin Pereira. With 1 in the bottom of the 3rd to tie it at 3. And there's a strike, and that's good to see Gerald Barcelo get on track. He's a fast worker when he's throwing strikes, and there's a ground ball, weakly hit. Barcelo makes a great play, short hops, and he fires across the diamond. Fernandez can't come up with it. The ball gets past him. Esponda goes back, and wow, that was a spectacular play off the mound. Barcelo had to come a long way on a swinging bunt by Pereira. He short hop backhand that one, and he threw a little bit low to the right side of Fernandez, who couldn't come up with it. Brady Monguera's your batter. He steps in from the left side for the visiting Jaguars that are tied. We're tied here. The visiting Jaguars now have a runner on second base in Martin Pereira. And he'll face Monguera, who already has a hit and a run scored. And he took that one inside and low for a ball. The likes of Martin Pereira. Monguera to face Barcelo. Top of the 4th. And there's a lazy pop fly hit to the left side. Going to be in no man's land if it's fair. Oh, my God, it's dropped. Foul ball. They're saying it's a foul ball. Boy, and that hit the sophomore's glove. It would have been the 3rd out of the inning. Lucky that he was down the line. And that ball hit him right when he was in foul territory. Wow. Big break there for the Lions. Tough break for the Panthers. They could have taken the lead there. And all that's going to be is a big strike. Good matchup here. Brady Monguera, the leadoff batter for the Panthers. The hard-throwing right-hander, Gerald Barcelo, the runner on second base. In a tie game. Here's the 1-2. It's in the dirt. And that one, not even Johnny Bench could have stopped. That one gets by Castillo. The runner's going to go to 3rd. The count's going to go to 2 balls and 1 strike on the leadoff batter. That would have been out. We could have been out of this inning already. As the count is 2-2. 2 outs in the top of the 4th in a tie game. A strike will get the Lions back in the dugout. A base hit will give the Panthers the lead. It'll bring up Sam Murillo. Here's the 2-2. Wow, and it catches him right. Did it hit him? Castillo. Barcelo settles in. He gets his sign. He's about to throw the payoff pitch to the leadoff batter. A strike could get his team in the dugout. And there's strike 3 called. Barcelo bounces back with a slider. The Panthers are going to leave 1. They get none. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning with your score tied 3-3 from Westland Park. And you're watching FSPN. Welcome back, everyone, to Westland Gardens Park for some high school baseball on FSPN between the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, that are led by their head coach, Humberto Bencomo, and the Carlos Iglesias-led Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars that have come in to pay a visit. Both teams desperately needing a win here. The Lions are going to send up 5, 6, and 7. Rosario, Brian Fernandez, and Heldy La Rosa to face the starter. And there's a ground ball foul. The starter for the Jaguars has been Sebastian Gonzalez. His battery mate behind the plate is Sam Morillo. Dallas Searcy's at third base. Gianfranco Mejia, the seniors at shortstop. Christian Morales is a second baseman. And the big lefty, Justin Probst, is over at first base. And we have a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the fourth inning. How about that? Another good game on FSPN. That one slapped foul and quickly. 2 strikes to the third baseman today. The strikeout king, the pitcher of the month, Alfred Rosario. He had 29 strikeouts in the month of February. And these 7-6 Lions desperately need a win here over a scrappy team, these Charter Jaguars. On deck, your score's 3-3. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. And here's the pitch. And that one's right back up the middle, right between the legs. Good try by Morales, but Rosario's going to be the leadoff batter again for the second time of this game. Rosario leads off the inning with a base hit. He's going to bring up Brian Fernandez. First base, Rosario led off the inning with another base hit. He has 2 hits. Actually, he got walked the first time up. Fernandez takes that one over the outside corner for a strike. The lineup here, I don't know if Brian is Irish, Brian Fernandez, but we need a little luck of the Irish right here in a tie game. Bottom of the fourth. Swing and a miss and another strikeout for the lefty. That's going to be the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Heldy La Rosa. With 1 out in the bottom of the fourth inning, the home Lions are going to send up the center fielder, the senior, the Miami-Dade commit, Heldy La Rosa. Alfred Rosario. And that ball's hit right back up the middle, right over the mound. Mejia's going to get it, and he only has one play, and that's to fire it over to Probst for the second out. The catcher, Andy Castillo, for the Lions, steps in with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth, with Rosario on second base. 2 outs. We can use a base hit. He'll be followed by the last batter, Willie Medeiros. 3-3 game, bottom of the fourth. For the Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars. And there's one that's hit right back up the middle. And this one, Gonzalez will take himself all the way to the bag for the third out. So the home Lions are going to leave 1. They're going to get none. The score's going to remain tied, and we're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. And you're watching FSPN, everybody. Don't go away. We got a good one here for the MATER Academy Lions. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to Westland Gardens Park. We're heading to the top of the 5th inning between the Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. It's been a great game so far. It's been brought to us by Florida State Tentless Termite Treatment. And if termites are creeping in your home, don't wait for the damage to start. Protect your home with Florida State Tentless Termite Treatments. Forget about the hassle in tenting and evacuating your home. The tentless treatment means no disruption of your life. No need to leave your home. No mess. Just fast and effective protection. Florida State Tentless Solution is eco-friendly, pet-friendly, safe for your family, and it targets termites right where they live, deep inside of your home. Give them a call at 305-669-9292 or visit their website at www.woodtermite.com and mention that you heard this ad right here on FSPN High School Baseball and receive an extra 10% off. Our show on Sunday is St. Patrick's Day related. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be hilarious. And it's going to be on Sunday morning right here on FSPN. We have a 3-3 game in the top of the 5th inning from Westland Gardens Park. Your pitcher is Gerald Barcelo for the home team. And he'll be facing Samuel Morillo, who's a right-handed batter. Then it's Justin Probst, the lefty. The first pitch strike, swinging. And following Probst, it's going to be Christian Morales. There's a strike taken. Looking like a hard slider, and quickly Barcelo's up. No balls and 2 strikes to the second batter, Samuel Morillo. Samuel Morillo leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Panthers. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Another slider over for a strike, and Barcelo has a lot of confidence in that pitch. Let's see this matchup here. Let's see what he does with Justin Probst with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning in a tie game. Probst smacked a line drive his last time up. Good hitter, Probst. Barcelo got him looking. And then out in a tie game in the top of the 5th from Westland Park. Your pitcher is Gerald Barcelo. Morales struck out twice already, looking for the hat trick. Low and away for ball 1. Yvonne takes a big lead over there on first base. And he goes. And that one's hit into the hole where Quevedo was. He's not able to come up with that one. Going all the way to third base is Yvonne on a base hit. Runners on first and third. The visiting Jaguars with 1 out. They're threatening again out here in the top of the 5th inning. Barcelo hit Justin Probst. Then Morales got a base hit in the hole. And here comes Tito's slow walk. He's just going to talk to him here. We've got Tito measured. We're going to take a quick break. He's going to leave Barcelo in. He's just going to talk to him. We'll be right back right after this. After a brief mound visit from Coach Tito Rodriguez, we kind of have his walk figured out. When he walks out there slow, he's just going to go talk to the pitcher. But if you see him going out there with any kind of a pace, he's going to change the pitcher. He just talked to Barcelo. Says, settle down, big guy. There's 1 out. You have runners in the corners. Top of the 5th inning in a 3-3 game. Rosario's even with the bag, and he squares, and he takes that one. Barcelo looks into Castillo. He gets his sign. Yvonne's on third base. Morales on first base. And your batter slaps will do it again. Tie game, top of the 5th. He's facing Gerald Barcelo. Strikeout here will get him. And there's a line drive hit to Quevedo. Now he throws it over to first. Boy, Fernandez is having a hard time over there at first base. That would have been a double play, and it hit him right in the middle of the glove. The throw was a little bit high. Nevertheless, it's going to be 2 outs. The runner's going to be at the corners, and your batter is going to be Gianfranco Mejia. A lot of opportunities that have been given away here by the MATER Lions. I hope it doesn't come back and bite them later on. Right now, it's a tie game with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Injuries to these Lions. Like we mentioned, Dylan Fernandez is probably out for the season. We're waiting on Brandon Lorenzo to come back, the shortstop. Hopefully these guys will get in before the playoffs. And there goes the runner. There's a strike. Castillo fakes the throw. A base hit here will give the Jaguars the lead. A strikeout will get the Lions in the dugout. Here's the 1-2 from Barcelo. Swing and a miss, and another big strikeout on a slider. Boy, he throws that in whatever count. The pumped-up Barcelo leaves the field flexing, and we're heading to the bottom of the 5th with a tie game here from Westland Park. And you're watching FSPN with the luck of the Irish.
You're watching the Florida Sports Programming Network.
All right, welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning from Westland Gardens Park for a tie game between the visiting Panthers of Pembroke Pines Charter and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, who seem to have nail-biters every time up, every time out. Willie Maderos is your batter. He takes a strike from the starter, Sebastian Gonzalez, the right-hander. He's been in here from about 6:30 when this started. 3-3, bottom of the fifth. Nice slider from Gonzalez. I have a parent of two players on this Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguar team. Nice slider again, taken for a strike. Boy, that's a breakout, fall off the table slider there for Gonzalez for the first out of the inning. Edgar had a base hit and scored. Then he struck out his first time up. And with one out, he takes the first pitch for a strike. Swing and slap the other way. A nice piece of hitting. An inside-out swing. A clean base hit for the leadoff batter. With one out, the MATER Academy Lions got something going here, folks. All right, folks. The next voice you're going to hear is Brian Probst. Brian, welcome.
Thank you.
To FSPN's coverage, man. I'm going to be quick because we got a good game here. We got a 3-3 game from MATER Academy. And your Pembroke Pines Jaguars, man, I'll tell you, they're scrappy. We got to see them the other day at Doral in a 5-5 game that you guys should have won that game, I'll be honest with you.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, we should have definitely won that game. We thing that can keep us in pretty much any game, so Sebastian's one of them.
So your son's a senior lefty. He's on first base. He's holding Noguera on right now. And Noguera goes, and there's the throw from Morillo. I don't think he got him. It's tough to get the speedy Noguera. So now the runner is going to be in scoring position with one out for the red-hot Jonathan Esponda with one out in the bottom of the fifth in a 3-3 game. Now, I don't know what your games have been like. I know you lost 5-6 against Coral Springs on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was a tough loss. We gave up a couple of runs in the twilight, a couple of pop-ups that couldn't be seen by the outfield when the sun wasn't quite down all the way yet. Ended up being a 4-run inning. We ended up going to extra innings and came up a little short. Had bases loaded, down one at the end, and grounded out to end it.
Next game for you guys, you play a very tough University Shark team led by our boy Dan Rovetto over there. And watch out with those Sharks. They started off, I think, something like 7-0, and now they're 10-2. And right here we have a good one.
Yeah, I found most games are tough. Most of these teams are pretty good. You're going to face good pitching most nights, and you can't take any game for granted.
All right, Sebastian Gonzalez has his hands full here for the Panthers. He's facing the red-hot Jonathan Esponda. Takes that for a strike, and he has a runner on second base, and the likes of Iker Noguera, the speedy Iker Noguera, with one out in a tie game in the bottom of the fifth inning. Uncle Muggs alongside Brian Probst. And I'm going to try to get us on camera again.
You don't need to do that.
And there's one that's lifted high to the right side of the infield. Probst is going back, and he calls it in the shallow right field for the second out. And that was a big out there. So what makes you more, I don't want to say nervous, but maybe antsy when he's up at the plate or when he's pitching?
Definitely the pitching. He pitching's something he does because he's big. He throws pretty hard. He's got some natural talent at it, but he has not spent a lot of time doing the extra work on that. I'm just always rooting for him to really break out hitting-wise. I'm always looking forward to his at-bats. But I don't get as nervous with the hitting because I feel confident with him up there.
Right after Esponda's fly ball to shallow right field, an intentional walk to the FSU commit. We'll have runners on first and second base with two outs in the bottom of the fifth inning, and it's going to bring up, I don't know why you want to pitch to this guy. He's been red hot, Mr. Clutch. I mean, I don't know what the deal is here.
You got to pick your poison in this game, don't you? You don't want to pitch to Udelkis either.
To the field before we scare somebody off. We're going to lose viewers. Two Bryans in the booth. One of them spelled correctly, the other one with a Y. Still got a chance to change it. You can run downtown and just.
I guess I could. I could.
I mean, are you guys Irish?
No.
French?
No.
Okay,
Got
so
German background.
so
German
no relation to the 4-time Formula One world champion Alain Probst.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, we got to look back in the family tree. Maybe you have a Formula One championship in there somewhere.
I'll study that up for next time I see you.
Always fun to bring a friend up to the booth. Tie game here. We've got a good one. That one pops out of the glove of Murillo. You guys seem to have a scrappy team. I mean, that game against Doral, you guys were down to, Doral was down to their last strike twice. And maybe the umpires' calls there maybe had a little bit of influence to that game. Elon Musk's rocket blew up that day and a lot of weird things going on. But your Charter Jaguars are 6-5-1.
Yeah, we've had some close ones. We've got a couple of, we got fairly young team. We've got 5 seniors, but we've got, three or 4 freshmen and sophomores that play regularly.
Swung on and missed, and that one pops out of Murillo's glove. The runners are going to advance to second and third base. Not sure if that pitch was a ball, but you got to catch him to be a strike, right, most of the time?
I think he swung at it, though, didn't he? Thought he took a hack at it. But
what is he holding up? 1 ball, 2 strikes? I can't see his fingers from here.
Looks like 1 and 2.
1 and 2. To Brian Arrieta, he's the Iowa Southwest commit. He'll play a little first base. Today he's seeing action as the DH, and boy, he's been clutch. Not only clutch, he's been the entire transmission for these guys. Takes that one low, and that one gets away. Let's see if it's far enough, and there goes the Norgera. And they say safe. They say safe. He first went out. Oh, boy. We need instant replay. Here comes Carlos Iglesias to argue that call, but I don't think Murillo held on to the ball long enough. Guerrero's going to advance to third base on the play, and if the play stands, and it does, it's going to be a 4-3 ball game. The Lions are going to take the lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Boy, and that's not the way you want to score a run. But we'll take them. I have with me Brian Probst. Look, I have the whiteout nearby. You never know. I have some correctional fluid just in case, but another play's going to stand. Arrieta's going to remain the batter with a 1 ball and 2 strike count with a runner on third base. And we're up here in the booth watching some high school baseball from Westland Park. Here's a look at your batter. The other voice you're going to hear is another Brian. It's Brian and Brian, and it's not a radio show. That one slapped over to Dallas, who makes the play. So the Lions are going to leave 1, but they're going to get 1. And we're going to head to the top of the 6th inning with your score 4-3 in favor of the home team. And you're watching FSPN. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, everybody. Welcome back to the top of the 6th inning at Westland Park, where we have a 4-3 ball game in favor of the MATER Academy Lions that just took the lead in the bottom of the 5th, and the Jaguars are going to send up 7, 8, and 9 in the likes of Dean Jaworski, Trey Glazer, Martin Pereira, and if anybody gets on, it's Brady Mongera, the center fielder, and they're all going to face Gerald Barcelo, who seems to have settled in. He's come in for Anthony Rodriguez, the lefty, who was not so effective, and I'm getting worried because that's 3 straight outings that Anthony's not what he used to be, but I'm sure he'll snap out of it, and just in time for the playoffs, you're going to get the big lefty all ready to go. So, Anthony, fix here what you're doing, and we'll see you soon. Right now, it's no balls and 1 strike to the left fielder, Jaworski, batting from the left side. He's grounded to second base in both of his at-bats. Jaworski's a junior. The count is 2-1. And I have Brian Probst with me. Brian, say hello.
Hello again.
All right, so we have two kids here. You have 3 boys in total?
I have 3 boys. 2 are in high school right now. I've got a senior and a sophomore. They both pitch and play first base, so the sophomore doesn't get to see a lot of time over there at first base with Justin still there.
And they both pitch somewhat. I mean, they've seen the mound a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Any chance you and the wife can have more kids?
No.
I mean,
that's all over.
2 for 2, man. I mean, you're doing pretty good.
The little one doesn't play baseball. Well, he just started playing baseball again. After about a 5-year hiatus, he decided he wanted to play baseball again, so he's back in it. So we'll see if I can turn him into a left-handed pitcher or something.
All right. And are you one of those in-the-fence dads with your face in the fence yelling, coaching from this side?
No, I've gotten better about that. I save my coaching for quiet conversations. I discuss it with other people, and I don't scream it into the fence. I don't yell at the players on the field or any of that.
All right, good. So, because we've seen a lot of that, and I don't know if that even works.
You know what I learned? I learned trying to make highlight videos for your kids, trying to videotape them and stuff. You don't want your voice on that video. You go back to watch that video, and you got to turn the sound off because your voice is on it. So
right.
I learned to stop talking when I'm taking videos of their hitting and stuff.
The leadoff walk to Dean Jaworski is going to bring up the sophomore right fielder Trey Glazer. And that's not how you want to start an inning. And here's the slow walk. So here's Tito Rodriguez. You know, he's the brother of Ivan Rodriguez. And I think, so he faked me out. This is the first time that he gets me. He came for a slow walk, and he took out Barcelo. Usually when he comes out on a slow walk, it's just a talking to. And I think we're going to have maybe Double G come out again. If we get a number on him, number 25. And we're going to have a new arm for the Lions of MATER Academy. And, yeah, it's going to be Gabo. It's going to be Gabriel. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Brian and Brian on FSPN, and you're watching high school baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to FSPN's coverage of a game between the Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars that are coming to visit the home team, the MATER Academy Lions, and it's a 4-3 game. We have a new pitcher on the mound. It's Double G, Gabriel Grandillo, and this has been the combination the last couple times we've been out here. Rodriguez has started. Gerald Barcelo gets the load of the work, and then the sophomore, Gabriel Grandillo, comes in and with a hard slider and a hard fastball, and Humberto Bencomo showing a lot of confidence in bringing in a sophomore in what is, to me, a must-win game. I mean, when you're 7-5 and you start the season 1-5, everything becomes a must-win. And it looks like it's a must-win for the visiting Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars as well. They're 6-5, and with me in the booth is a father of 2 of the players on this Jaguar team, and it's Brian Prost. Brian, welcome once again.
Yes, thank you for having me up here.
Good game. I mean, that's all we can ask for is a good game. This is the third pitcher.
Game. I enjoy it when the team competes. They battle. That's when it's fun to watch.
The other day I had to do an 18-8 game, and it was difficult to do that game. I prefer these games, and now the third baseman Rosario's way in on the grass. He's in Glazer's back pocket almost with a runner on first base. He squares the bunt. He pushes one down the line and it goes foul.
Got to get these down.
Yeah, the fundamentals. I mean, starting to see these guys all around the league. I mean, a couple years ago, nobody could lay down a bunt. It was just about launch angle and how far you want to hit the ball. But it seems like those fundamentals are starting to come back. And when you watch a few games now with Carlos Iglesias, is he a small ball kind of guy, or does he mix it up?
He mixes it up. He when you're playing with the younger players and stuff, you kind of have to mix in some small ball. We've traditionally not been a team that does a lot of running and stealing, but we bunt when we need to. And I think in high school you really have to be able to get bunts down because you need to be able to move runners around when you can.
All right, that time Glazer swung through that ball. The runner made his way to second base, Dean Jaworski. And with no outs in the top of the 6th inning, the Jaguars have a legitimate scoring opportunity here. The corners are about even with the bag. Uncle Muggs in the booth with Brian Probst. He's the father of 2 of the Jaguars. And we need some Irish luck here getting close to St. Patrick's Day. Gabriel Grandillo, Double G's on the mound. And there's that hard-moving fastball. And he's got a late-breaking slider, and that just tied up Glazer. Martin Pereira's on deck. And he's been on base twice already today. And he's the last batter for the Panthers. Brady Monguera, the leadoff batter, will get on if any of those two get on. And right now there's a runner on second base. 0-2 the count to the third baseman. Nice stop by Castillo. Now you'll watch Grandillo when he lifts up his left leg. You know, he'll mix up his wind up and trying to keep the batters off balance. Tight quarters here in the FSPN booth. It's stand-up time. Everyone's on their feet. The fans are on the edge of their seats. The 1-2 from Grandillo is taken for a strike. 3 called on the outside part of the plate. Big, huge strikeout there. Grandillo comes in and does his job.
Looks like Sebastian Gonzalez is going to hit for himself now.
So Sebastian's coming in for the DH, Pereira. And with this re-entry now, he could still go back in there and pitch, I would imagine.
I'm imagining they've basically just removed the DH, right? Isn't that? I guess they can do that, right? Just have him stay in for the DH, and he's now the...
This is my first year back into all this, so I'm not up to date with all the specifics. I know there's a pitch count this year with the kids. That if you're 18, you can only go 105 pitches. And that's a good idea to do that. Save their arms.
Absolutely.
Now that I see Gonzalez up close, boy, he's a big boy.
Yeah, I think he's about 6'2", maybe 6'3".
Yeah, when he's 60 feet further away, he doesn't look that big. But now that he's up on us here, he's got a chance to tie the game. Jaworski's on second base. Who's that major leaguer? Is it Kimbrel, the one that bends over with his arm down? There's a slider in there for a strike.
Yeah, Kimbrel has that
Kimbrel kind of
pitch stance.
Yeah, and Gabriel's kind of doing the same thing. Gabo's bending over and almost brushing the dirt there with his knuckles. Look at that. Yeah. See if we can get a good look at that. We just missed it. We'll catch it on the next pitch. Take a look at the runner on second base. Get full use of all these cameras. And there's Gabo all crunched over there with his right hand almost touching the ground. The 1-1 swung on. Missed. Trying to help his own cause here. Sebastian Gonzalez, the pitcher, now batter for these Panthers that are visiting from Broward County. 0-2 the count. 1 out. Gabo could use a strikeout here, so could the Lions. The 0-2 swung on and fouled straight back. Almost took somebody's GoPro out. So the count's going to remain 0-2 with 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. And your score's 4-3 in favor of Humberto Bencomo's MATER Academy Lions that are 7-6 coming into this after a 1-5 start. They've managed to win 6 out of the last 7. And there's a swing and a miss and a much-needed strikeout, what I call a non-contact out. So Gonzalez came in to bat for Pereira. And Pereira's probably sitting on the bench going, I could have done that too.
Yeah, it's tough. Sebastian's one of our better hitters. And when he pitches, he prefers, I think, to just focus on the pitching. But it hurts our lineup taking him out of it. So it's tough to come in cold with the bat in the 6th inning.
Monguera's been on base twice, even though he struck out his last at-bat. He scored a run for the Panthers, the first run of the game. And there's first pitch swinging. Tell me something about Brady, because he looks like one of these scrappy, tough outs. Like one of these.
Yeah, he's a strong kid, got good speed. He can hit the ball all over the park. And he's a pretty good contact hitter, so he gives us a good shot right here to get this tied up.
Tying runs on second base in a 4-3 game. Top of the 6th inning from Westland Gardens Park. The visiting Jaguars are down 1 to the home Lions. Another excellent stop by Castillo. Jacob Amador suffering, a shoulder injury. So Castillo's had to catch the last 3 or 4 games, and he's done an excellent job over there. The only thing we got to work on is the throws back to the pitcher.
I've noticed that tonight.
He's got the Steve Sachs syndrome going. I was kidding about that the other day. I told him if he can throw back to the pitcher in the chest, we can win a game. And Grandillo is more savvy beyond his years. I mean, he's only a sophomore, but he has some mound presence. He has control of what's going on. And that play right there was nobody covering second base, but he wheeled and wanted just to take a little break, get the runner back. And there's a nice pitch, and that's looped to left field. Here comes Madero's in on it, and he dives, and he makes it. No, he doesn't.
Down. That ball's down.
It's going to be safe, and we have a tie game.
New ball game again.
4-4. Madero struggling out there. Kind of came in sideways on that ball. So a clutch base hit. Well, you called it out. I mean, he's a tough out.
Yeah.
Jaworski's going to score. And that's going to bring out Murillo. Struck out twice and was walked. And some guy, Probst, is on deck.
Yeah.
Probst.
Hopefully he gets a chance this inning.
All right, Murillo, the catcher. Brady's on first, and he's a threat to steal. Gabo
Time for
Grandillo.
a steal too.
Grandillo's on the mound. He goes through the signs with Castillo. Now he does that Kimbrel arm hanging, bend over at the waist type of thing. Slap foul for strike 1. And you'll see Gabo throw that slider in any count. And it's a hard, late-breaking slider, so he throws it from the same spot, so it looks like a fastball. And it smells like a fastball, but at the end it just goes, whoop, see ya. And it's not a wipeout slider. It's more like a tight slider. There's a quick throw over to first. I'd be careful over there with Fernandez. I think that's the first ball he's caught tonight. Sorry, B, I love you, man, but, if it hits you in the glove, you got to catch it. Brian O'Brien. So close to St. Patrick's Day, and so many Bryans. A swing and a miss. Castillo throws from his knees, a one-hopper, not in time to get the speedy Mongera, who cruises into second base.
All right. Let's see if Sammy can come up with a big hit right here.
2 outs. 0-2 the count. Maybe.
Yeah, pretty sure.
0-2
I think you got it right.
Top of the 6th tie game. Sometimes I have to rely on the scoreboard operator.
That's not very accurate most of the time.
That are girls. No offense, we all like girls. Runner on second base. There's a nice tight slider, man. He really wanted that one. He was halfway in the dugout. Gabo just went to one knee. The umpire buckled him. Strikeout here will get his Lions back in the dugout. A base hit will give the Jaguars the lead. What's it going to be, Brian?
I'm hoping for the hit.
And there's a swing and a miss. Dropped by the catcher. Does he have to throw? No, he got a piece of it.
Oh, got a tip.
Well, he must have just got a piece of a lace or something. Murillo, the catcher, he struck out twice. He's going for the hat trick. The 3 croqueta hat trick. If you get 4, it's called the golden croqueta.
We don't want that. We don't want either of those.
And here's the 1-2 again with 2 outs. Top of the 6th. There's the swing and a miss. There's the strikeout. Grandillo needed that one. The Jaguars are going to leave one. They're going to get one. The score's going to be tied, and we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And you're watching FSPN from Hialeah Gardens.
All right, Bugs, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bud. Welcome back to FSPN's coverage of high school baseball from Westland Gardens Park. We have a tie game heading into the bottom of the 6th inning, and due up for the MATER Academy Lions are the 5th, 6th, and 7th batters, Alfred Rosario. Then he'll be followed by Brian Fernandez and Judy LaRosa. And if anybody gets on, it's the catcher, Andy Castillo. Uncle Muggs coming to you from the booth. And I have a special treat for you guys. I have a couple players. Let me try to get them up here on the... Here we go. Let's do this and this and this. And there they are. We have Dylan Fernandez, Brandon Lorenzo, a couple of injured guys, but they're making their way up here. You guys got to do something when you're injured. I mean, it's tough, right?
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, soon. We'll be back soon.
Hang on. Let me fix that. There you go. Okay, say something. So.
We'll be back soon. You know, just getting our recovery and getting some time off to get healthy, and we'll be back and more hungry.
All right, so, you know, you guys have been in every game. You've been scrapping it out since Georgia. I mean, it's been crazy. We call you guys the Belita team because we got to get Belitas. But today, I got something a little better than Belita.
Oof, the Lucky Charm.
All right, I got the Lucky Charm. Here it is, folks. I brought the 4-leaf clover. Check it out. The Lucky Charm, and I put it up when you guys are hitting. All right, we put it up when you guys are hitting. And hopefully that'll do something. And let's go through this inning right here. Let's see what we can do with who we have coming up. So we have Alfred, who's gotten on base twice already. And this camera's a little crooked, so we're going to do the best we can. He got hit by a foul ball early.
Oh.
All right, the starter from the Jaguars is still in there, Sebastian Gonzalez. It looks like their infield is the same. They have Dallas third, Gianfranco, Christian Morales, and Justin Probst, the big lefties at first base. Behind the plate is Samuel Murillo, Jaworski, Monguera, and Glazer in the outfield. Okay, we already said that Rosario's up. The big lefty's after him. Let's see what he does here. Takes the first one outside for a ball. Okay, Brandon, let me ask you a question. So when you have to play another position that's not yours, and you have to think about things, because, I mean, I know shortstop and second baseman, they say, if you can play shortstop, you can play second base. When you're not playing in your normal position, now there's other things that you got to think about, right? I have Brandon Lorenzo and Dylan Fernandez, both of them MATER Academy players. I have a junior and a senior. And
both juniors.
Both juniors?
Yes, sir.
Well, stop looking like a senior, man. You guys got all these beards going and everything, and right now we got a game here. I mean, it's always been like this. You guys have been scrapping it out. And there's strike 3 called, and that's 3 of them for our buddy there, Brian Fernandez, who's having a rough night today.
Rough day at the plate.
Se ha comido 3 croquetas. Okay, these are croquetas caseritas, son de jamón. They're lightly fried, and they're golden brown on the outside and chewy on the inside. And he's eaten 3 of them already, and we have a pinch. And he's picked up his average. I mean, Heldy's starting to slap the ball around.
Yeah, he is. He's putting the ball up there a lot. There it is.
And there's one right there. The diving Probst gets it. He flips over to Gonzalez for the 3rd out. All right, guys, hang out with us for another inning. We're going to head to the top of the 7th inning, and your score is still tied 4-4 from Westland Gardens Park. You're watching FSPN. You're listening to Uncle Muggs, and you're watching. There he is. Shout out to anybody real quick.
Shout out to my mom and dad.
Shout out Mom and Dad. Shout out Ma and Pa.
Yeah.
The ones that make it all happen.
What abuelo, abuela.
Oh, los abuelos. Maria, Charo.
Hey, cafecito.
Iggy.
Yeah, all right, there you go. We'll be right back right after this. Thanks. All right, welcome back to Westland Gardens Park, where we have a great game, a 4-4 game between the visiting Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars and the home team, the MATER Academy Lions. And it's another Relita game. It's another Pastilla de Corazon game. And it's one of these where, if you have heart condition or high blood pressure, I don't recommend that you watch these games. Just flat out don't watch them. Go watch a 6-5 game, and Justin Probst hits a little little looper there to shortstop that Quevedo had to come in a long way for to get the first out. So that was a big out because I know Justin and I know he can hit. And Double G is doing a great job. And in the booth with me here, I have Dylan Fernandez that unfortunately is injured. And I also have Brandon Lorenzo with me. Let's take a peek at these guys. What's going on, boys?
How's it going, Muggs?
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the insight. So look at this, man. We're at it again, 4-4.
Right back, another dogfight.
¿Hasta cuándo? No? You guys are going to kill Uncle Muggs. you got, and how much confidence? Let's talk about the sophomore, okay? Because I've seen him in these games already in these type of situations, and he's come through big time for being a sophomore or any kind of classman. And there's another shot
That's
over
yours.
to Quevedo. He catches it on
That's
one,
good play, baby.
throws off balance, and a nice play there from the shortstop. How about the color on that one, Lorenzo? Give us some color on that.
He's looking great out there. Telling you.
I mean, yeah, Gavo's been good for us this entire year. He's been one of our best guys coming out of the pen. No, hasn't really started any games, but comes in relief and throws amazing. And he's one of those guys where doesn't have a lot of velo, but the strikes are just there. And you're going to get 95% strikes, and he's going to attack you. He's going to put the pressure on you.
All right, the batter's Dallas Searcy. He's the third baseman. He struck out twice, swings at the first pitch, and misses a nasty late-breaking slider out of the arm of Gabriel Grandillo. We call him Gavo. He's a sophomore sensation. Stop shaking your leg. Dallas Searcy's the batter. I have Dylan Fernandez and Brandon Lorenzo in the booth with me. Here's a look at these clowns again, boy. I can't wait to see you back out of the field, you guys, man. I mean,
I'm dying to get back.
you guys are better players than commentators.
That's for sure.
And this game is getting OC
OZ.
out of control. And there's a lazy pop fly to center field. Hootie's calling it. It looks like it's going to be the third out. So nothing across the board for the visiting Jaguars. And now we're going to turn on the clover leaf because the Lions are going to come to bat in the bottom of the seventh, and we're going to walk it off.
Walk it off. Uncle Muggs, we're going to get back. We got to make some noise back there in the dugout, cheer for our guys, and hopefully walk it off this game.
All right, boys, we'll be right back with the bottom of the seventh inning. You're watching FSPN with Dylan Fernandez and Brandon Lorenzo and Uncle Muggs.
Thank you for having us, Muggs.
Take care, y'all.
Go Lions.
Be right- Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to a really, really good game. I mean, we've had some good ones. We've been really blessed. We have a 4-4 tie heading into the bottom of the seventh inning. We have a pinch hitter coming in for the home team, and it's Jacob Amador. Jacob has been injured. He's had a bit of a shoulder issue, and we just had Dylan Fernandez and Brandon Lorenzo in the booth. We had Brian Probst in here earlier. Amador's batting for Castillo, and he'll be facing the starter. He's been in there since about 6:30. Sebastian Gonzalez for the visiting Pembroke Pines Jaguars, and he puts one over for a strike to Amador. Amador hitting for Castillo here in the bottom of the seventh in a tie game, and there's a slider taken for a strike. The pitcher for the Jaguars, Sebastian Gonzalez, has gone the distance, and there's a slider and just got a piece of it. Amador's not going down without a fight. Game on FSPN. Here's the pitch, and that one's lined into left field. A pinch hit, base hit for Jacob Amador to lead things off. Well, that's the way you want to get things started, and we're going to have another pinch hitter come in, and it's Rafi Govin. We're in the bottom of the seventh inning at Westland Park, the home of the Lions, where we have a tie game. The pinch hitter, Jacob Amador, stepped up with a base hit with 2 strikes and nobody out. His courtesy runner, Robert Bencosman, is on first base. Another pinch hitter's coming up to bat, and the likes of the pride of Mexico, Rafi Govin, and he squares off the bunt. Searcy's coming in hard, and he lays down a beauty right back to the pitcher, but a slow one. He's got one way to go, and he short hops, and he's not going to get it. The hustling Govin makes it to first base safe. Folks, it's time to go to La Botica, get some more heart medicine. We're going to be right back. I think there's going to be a pitching change. Carlos Iglesias is making his way to the mound for the Panthers. Let's see if he takes the ball out of Gonzalez's hand or it's just a meeting. In any case, we're going to be right back right after this. Thanks for watching FSPN. Welcome back to Westland Park, where we're at the bottom of the seventh inning, and the home team is tie game again. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but every game that MATER does, it seems to go down to the last at-bat. And on Monday, here's the guy, Aker Noguera, who was the hero, and he's looking to be the hero twice in 1 week. Can he get 2 walk-off hits in 1 week? The first baseman, Justin Probst, is in on the grass. Rafael Govin, who just bunted for a base hit, is on first base. Robert Bencosme is the pinch runner who came in for Jacobs Amador, who pinch hit for Andy Castillo. So the runners are on first and second base. There's nobody out. It's a 4-4 game, and I'm thinking walk it off. And the boys told me to say that this game is OC. OC? Oh, something like that. Out of control. Noguera takes that one. He scored to bunt. He took that one for a ball. Everybody was crashing. Searcy from third. Probst from first. Morales came over to cover. On deck is Jonathan Espada. He wants to be a hero too, so if Noguera can't get it done, Espanda's on deck. Gonzalez takes a look at Bencosme, and he squares the bunt and takes that one. Quickly, 2 balls and no strikes to the leadoff batter, Iker Noguera. Iker has 2 hits on the game and a strikeout. He scored 2 runs. He'll be followed by Jonathan Espada, who already has 2 hits in this game. And the Lions hope it doesn't get any further than Espada, that either Noguera or Espada can end it right here. And they're going to need some St. Patrick's Day luck. Some luck of the Irish here. Squares to bunt again, and there's a strike on the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. These MATER Academy Lions were lucky on Monday when they beat the Coahuila Bulldogs 11-10. They were then down 10-9 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here they were tied in the bottom of the 7th inning, and here's the pitch from Gonzalez, and there's a bunt right at the mound. He's going to have to go to first base, and he throws it high over everybody, and here comes the winning run. There's going to be walk-off style once again, and there they go. They're going to mob them. There's going to be a mob. I want to thank everybody. Oh, God, this is always fun. I love when they do this. That's 2 walk-offs in a row for Noguera. And I want to thank the whole coaching staff, Humberto Bencomo, of course. I want to thank Tito. I want to thank Fahim, and especially Alex Tamargo and Butch Canicero. Ricky Rojas. This has been Uncle Muggs, another walk-off. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at South Ridge. Remember to watch the show on Sunday. It's going to be funny. They're going to need luck.